starts from Parliament because the minority in Parliament has served notice it will block the approval of budgetary estimate for the Electoral Commission. Leader of the caucus, Haruna Idrisu, tells JoyNews the EC has failed to conduct continuous registration of voters who have turned 18 since 2021 and this year, which according to him violated the Constitution. The Special Budget Committee is expected to present its report today, but Haruna Idrisu says his side will resist the approval of the EC's budget.
The 2021 year group, 2022 year group are all being denied a lawful constitutional right and the right to vote, which is very significant to a democracy. And therefore, if the Electoral Commission does not come public, making a public announcement to allow those persons to register, especially when we have district assembly elections coming on next year, I do not see why we should be giving them approval. And more importantly, the Electoral Commission is now seeking to depend on the data of National Identification Authority. So why did they have to spend $80 million of taxpayer money compiling a voter register and stating that theirs will have eyelashes and an improved biodata regime? So why did they have to waste state resources on an exercise? And we still have difficulty appreciating the EC as an independent constitutional body and NIA under ministerial control. We simply will not accept the EC yielding onto an executive institution which is subject to the control of the president or a minister of state. Understandably, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission was in my office to serve notice that she may not be personally available to lead the commission to justify its budget because of a prior international obligation or travel, and therefore the deputies will stand in. We probably will consider their budget estimates tomorrow, but as a matter of a position, the minority will not support the approval of the budget of the Electoral Commission unless the Electoral Commission upholds the letter and spirit of Article 42. Persons who attain the age of 18 years in 2021 have not been given the opportunity to be on the electoral roll and to be registered as voters. Persons who attain the age of 18 years in 2022, so two cohorts, the 2021 year group, 2022 year group, are all being denied a lawful constitutional right and the right to vote.
Now, still in Parliament, and despite not having been paid for the last 15 months, the financial woes of the Office of the Special Prosecutor is deepening after Parliament put on hold the approval of their budget allocation. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu alleges that the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejabeng, has made unconstitutional appointment to the office, and any allocation made to pay such persons will be unlawful.
There are matters which remains unresolved with their conditions of service. That affects item 1, the compensation budget of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So what are we approving, Mr. Speaker, when you have the Ministry of Finance confirmed, and we are further told by the ranking member, and I believe the chairman, that the Special Prosecutor have not been paid for 16 months. 16 or 15 months. Yes, 15. Mr. Speaker, how can this happen? You see, so how do you expect him to survive? Are you not encouraging him to live on some allowances, which allowances may be unacceptable allowances, if he's not paid legitimately what he's due? The Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, in particular Section 21, and that's my second reason why I say that this report should be set aside for further work by the committee with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, we are told that when Kisi Ejabeng, the current occupant of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, assumed office, some officers who were recruited into the Office of Special Prosecutor were asked to proceed home, given this is the information we have. And then he appointed some persons into the Office of the Special Prosecutor to facilitate his work as special prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, we are told that at the time that the Office of Special Prosecutor made those appointments, there was no board so properly constituted under Act 959. It's for the board to determine matters, including appointment. So is it for the special prosecutor to appoint persons, or he is to do so in consultation or working with his board? I am strongly arguing that any appointment other than those done by the president be deemed illegal and unconstitutional, and therefore Parliament cannot be appropriating compensation for those illegal and unconstitutional appointments.
Now, Majority Leader Oseche Mensah-Bonsu raised some questions as to the validity of the claims made by the Minority Leader and criticized government for not paying the staff at the Special Prosecutor's Office.
The Special Prosecutor is our watchman, and the watchman must be watched. We need to provide him with adequate remuneration such that he will not be exposed and be tempted to be corrupted. If that should happen, Mr. Speaker, this nation will be in serious trouble. Certainly before we pass the appropriations, we should have a resolution of this matter, because it cannot continue to hang. Mr. Speaker, the other matter that was raised by the Minority Leader in respect of there being no board, and for that matter, the Special Prosecutor could not employ anybody, is something that we need to dissect a bit, because it's informing us that some people had been employed at the previous Special Prosecutor who were rendered redundant by the new Special Prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, if his insistence is that there's not been any board, then how were they employed in the first place? I believe that a lot would also depend on the committee in seeing through the fulfillment of the promise by the Minister of Finance to have this done within 1 week. If the committee can assure us that it will be done, Mr. Speaker, I would entreat us to do the voting subject to the committee ensuring that there's fulfillment to this pledge. Other than that, with respect to the Special Prosecutor, Mr. Speaker, we may then have to stand that one down when we come to the Appropriations Act, because indeed it's an important office, and we must ensure that it runs efficiently and effectively.
Now, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante joins us with details. Kweku, what was the agreement after the debate?
So the Minority Leader had his way. He was able to get consensus from his leader on the other side to put on hold the voting on the specifics of the budget of the Special Prosecutor. 269 million Ghana cedis, which has been allocated to the Special Prosecutor's Office, has now been put on hold, and it's not even expected to come in even today. And so, as you heard the Majority Leader say, next week they will be expecting to deal with the appropriation budget, and they can deal with it subject to the committee dealing with it. We can hear from the Speaker who deferred the question.
So those NGOs and the stakeholders.
Now, Kweku, do we know what else Parliament is dealing with today?
So just gone by, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Fenyomakin, has presented the business statement for next week. We know that Parliament is expected to adjourn sign time on Wednesday, and by then they are expected to pass the appropriation. So far, none of the revenue measures, the bills, have come to the floor. The government is seeking to increase VAT by 2.5%. It is seeking to review the e-levy. All these are expected to come by way of bills to be amended and all that. So just gone by also on the floor, Kojo Blackwell has been raising concerns about the censure motion against the health minister. There's a censure motion against the health minister that is also pending. He wants this to be dealt with as soon as possible. So the House is expected to consider some budget estimates for the various ministries and agencies before the agenda for today.
Okay, grateful that you could join us. That's our parliamentary affairs correspondent, Kweku Atsan, today. Now, with less than 24 hours to the NDC's National Delegates Congress, and former Ghana's ambassador to the United Kingdom, Victor Smith, is demanding Chairman Hopeful Johnson Asiedu Nketiah's resignation and withdrawal from the race. According to him, Mr. Asiedu Nketiah's comment suggesting the NDC did not have adequate evidence but still challenged the 2020 presidential election results betrayed the trust and secrecy of the party. Asiedu Nketiah is facing it off with incumbent chairman Samuel Ofosu Ampofo and two others, but Victor Smith says the comment makes him unfit to lead the NDC. He spoke on Bedroom on Adum TV.
But Asiedu Nketiah was the chief executive of our party. He was there. Now say, we need penny for, and the papers need because apologize for your frivolous petition.
Exactly. Yeah.
You are indicting a former president who was our flag bearer at the time. Why must you even go to the contest? Personally, let's me paper here and come and court on this one that Asiedu Nketiah cannot contest. He should be disqualified from the.
On what basis?
No, he should be sanctioned in the party.
On what basis?
No.
So what kind of credit, you know?
No kind of credit. The party's a constitution, Article 8. It says, and if you will permit me to read that one, it says a party member may be subjected or may be made subject to party discipline for any of the following. 1, breach of any of the provisions of this constitution. 2, anti-party conduct. This is anti-party conduct. Or activities likely to embarrass the party or bring the party into hatred, ridicule, or contempt. He has done that. Forget about insubordination and negligence. The other one says unauthorized disclosure of confidential party information.
These are part of your rules and regulations in government.
Of the constitution, NDC constitution. You should be sanctioned. What he has done is a sanctionable offense by no less a person than the chief executive of our party. Are you serious matter? The NDC delegates, but this man cannot take part in our elections, in my opinion. He should be sanctioned on no one, and if he wasn't contesting, that's somebody went and spoke that. That's our sanction as the chief executive.
Let's stay with the NDC because the parties are assuring all stakeholders and participants of safety at the upcoming Congress. The assurance follows the chaos and assault that characterized the last weekend's National Youth and Women's Congress in Cape Coast. In less than 48 hours, the much-anticipated National Delegate Congress will be underway at the Accra Sports Stadium. Events leading up to the Congress has been that of contention and mudslinging. But during a tour of the venue, National Communications Officer Sami Jemfi, who is himself seeking re-election, says the process will be peaceful and transparent.
National Youth and Women's Congress was marred with violent disturbances causing injury to 3 persons and destruction of property. Police intervention helped calm the situation for the process to continue. The incumbent communication officer, Sami Jemfi, says the party has taken a cue from the violent clashes and has made provision for enhanced security.
Adequate security measures have been put in place. We are working with the police, the Ghana Police Service. Our internal party security will be here to also complement their efforts. We've learned useful lessons from what happened in Cape Coast, and we can assure our rank and file and the general public that we will not have any such occurrence here on Saturday. So be rest assured that security will not be a problem at all.
He also insists the NDC party is united despite the name-calling and counter-accusation among competing candidates, especially for the chairmanship slot.
The NDC is not doomed. The NDC is in fact getting stronger and stronger and stronger. In every contest, there's a possibility of some acrimony, and disagreements. But once the context is over, we've always demonstrated that we are one big family, we love ourselves, and we have a common goal, and that common goal is our common focus. And so you can be rest assured that after all is said and done, after newly executives are elected and sworn in, we will unite, come together as one, and work for the progress of the National Democratic Congress.
A total of about 9,000 delegates are expected to participate in the NDC's Congress come Saturday. A report by Prince Owusu Ansa read to you.
You're watching the Joy News today. Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodom says government must intervene to force traders to drive down prices of goods after a period of sustained appreciation of the Ghana cedi. The Nsawam MP, in making a statement on the floor, also cited a fall in petroleum prices, which he believes should influence the downward adjustment of price of goods and transportation fares. But the minority disagrees with him. Kojo Asante has more in this report.
Over the past few days, the cedi has regained strength and at some point was the strongest performer against the dollar. Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodom says government must intervene to drive down prices.
The concern also is that while we are currently experiencing a turnaround from the depreciation, the expected economic relief is not being felt by the ordinary Ghanaian since goods are still being sold at high prices. Speaker, I made this submission urging the executive and its policymakers to take additional measures directed at restoring price of food items and other goods to some sustainable level.
Chairman of the Finance Committee, Kojo backed this position.
Mr. Speaker, to use the policy rate as an excuse for profiteers who cited exchange rate deterioration for increase in prices, that they are unable to do that now because of the policy rate.
But the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, says as a free market, government should not be encouraged to intervene in the pricing of goods and services.
Mr. Speaker, I'm limited because he states that he comes under Order 72, and therefore I'm unable to provoke debate. But the political tradition that he belongs to, the property-owning democracy, recognizes economics and recognizes that demand and supply dictates what happens in the market in a liberalized economy such as ours. So, Mr. Speaker, don't go and make statements on worry market women at Makola or in Ababu or in Techima market who are selling based on demand and supply.
MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, and MP for Yape Kuswao, John Jinapo, also argued that there are other factors that have led to the increase in the prices of goods. And without addressing these factors, prices will stay up.
It is a good call for us to urge the actors in the market to respond. But I think that the commentary has sometimes been unfair, as though people are just being wicked and don't want to be caring.
The IMF announcement coincided with the reduction. But those of us who've done economics will just tell you there's a relationship. You can't claim causality.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, over the course of this week, advised members to review prices downwards after some sustained gains by the Ghana cedi. Some traders take the gains that, and now that this matter is being discussed in Parliament, the pressure is going to be on the traders to do something about prices, although some traders maintain that the stock they have currently were purchased at the time that the cedi was performing very badly. But the ordinary Ghanaian is calling for some intervention from government. Reporting for Joy News, Kojo Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, passengers are this afternoon unhappy with the posture of drivers who refuse to reduce transport fares even after fuel prices have been reduced significantly at the pumps. Just about a month ago, fuel prices were at an all-time high, with some outlets selling diesel at 24 cedis and petrol at 18 cedis after the cedi collapsed against the dollar. Transport fares saw a huge jump, with passengers bearing the brunt. This afternoon, we are witnessing the exact opposite. Fuel prices have been reduced by close to 3 cedis per litre, and passengers want fares to follow suit.
We are currently at the Odona Transport Yard here in Circle. The question here is, fuel prices have reduced significantly, selling below the 14 Ghana cedis mark, sometimes even as low as 13 Ghana cedis, 40 pesos here. We are asking the various stakeholders, the drivers and the commuters or passengers, what should happen now? Let me start with the station master here for the Carnation Transport Yard. Asking him what should happen. Are they satisfied with the reduction that they've seen already? Chairman, what do you make a cry? About your friends then? Okay. Chairman, any fuel form drivers, I am Modana.
Oh, hey, they're back and forth, about 4 o'clock. The phone here for and quiet. You're too tight. I took out only a pass will be obedient. So, time at 3.5. Tuesday, we got away 3.5, quiet on 5.5. We risk him not cracky. We got to risk him, new one 7.5. And so, 5, 4.5. Obedient, so, look at me, full at $20 first one. This is one here too. I thought I never walk out on one. I mean, so. I was looking for 10 months. Fine. That's about this. It's just money. We have a tire, brand new tire, 5.5. We were first at 3.5. Almost 5.5, 6 million. No boy, just a phone here. I go for a clear. I'm going to was looking for. And then I'm going to go to the Brazil. Your car, they are 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. I'm going to say, man, come here. $1 and then we will be there. I don't know what for. So I go that. On time we are. Now what time we? I was talking about go to we. India tono. Is a car engine. 24 million, 25 million, 250 million. We can first 150 million.
So, until when should we be considering reducing transport fares?
And they are mostly anti-fares. So I say 20 minutes. Friend about you're in 24 and keep out in 24. All fares anti-solia. You
are telling me about the fuel price. You think it should go below?
Oh, for a man go for me. Oh, there's 5
go out 1340.
1340. About 12 grade.
So, Osei Kwame is station master, the Medina station master for the Odona Transport Yard here. He tells me it's a difficult situation for them, and conversations on reducing transport fares, although fuel prices have seen a significant decrease, should not be entertained yet. He wants spare parts to also be reduced before this conversation can be entertained. But what passengers understand it the way he's explaining it. For some passengers, they want the decrement in fuel prices to follow as soon as possible. That's a loading vehicle here. Let's ask some of them inside of it. What should happen now that fuel prices have seen a significant decrement over the last 2 weeks? Let me ask some of them. So you have seen, some of you I want to believe have seen a decrement in fuel prices. Now fuel is around 13 cedis 40 pesos, almost 17 Ghana cedis 2 weeks ago. As passengers, what do you make of the situation? You think transport fares should come down? Let me start with my lady here. Madam, what do you think should happen to your transport fares? Should they come down? You don't want it to come down? You are comfortable paying how much you are paying? Okay, well, so she will not talk to us here. I guess she's not so concerned or perturbed about transport fares yet. But let me ask some of them. There's this gentleman here who spoke to me earlier. Bossman, transport fares, Embra from Manan Costro.
Embra for.
I didn't see Embra from.
Because so much so.
How much did you answer?
Costro no so.
But almost a mugusu bro, and someone to mean to some houses here.
But I say almost so because Tamamo almost the big count on that. Almost an ad. Also to Sano artists. Yes, I bread.
Now, head of communications at the GPRT says it has agreed on a reduction and will communicate how much after a meeting today. He says the new prices will reflect from Monday. Not seeing a reduction in transport fares when we are seeing reduction in the price of fuel. I mean, at least before the current one, there have been some reductions in the past.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Imoro. Can you hear me?
Kindly increase the volume a bit for me.
Okay. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm asking, why are we not seeing any reduction in transport fares when fuel prices have been going down?
Yes, and good morning to all viewers. When our health was declining, we researched deep into our business to find out what exactly is the problem. It was then that we realized fuel percentages is much higher than the lorry fare increases that we match with. It doesn't even tally at all, meaning there is a big deficit between the fuel increment and the lorry fares that we want to take. We have put that aside, and yesterday, yes, there was a marathon meeting between the Transport Ministry and the transport operators. Finally, we agreed to reduce something from the lorry fares. But by then, we were being made aware that today there will be further reduction on fuel. So we said, yes, let's wait to see the percentages on today's reduction. Then we will also see how much we can also reduce the percentage that we can take off from the lorry fares. And by then, we made them to understand that if we are able to do that, we will come out with a communique which will take effect from Monday. Now, whatever percentages are told that we agreed to take off today, it will take effect from Monday. So finally, we agreed to reduce something from the lorry fares.
Now, CEO of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, Duncan Amwa, says we should expect a further reduction in the next pricing window. Grateful that you could join us. Does the new reduction correspond with the new changes in terms of pricing on the world market, or it should be further than this?
Let me state it could go further than this. What is happening with the current reduction numbers is that Bank of Ghana did an auction of forex to the importers or BDCs a week ago. And the rate that Bank of Ghana gave them as of the time was around 13 Ghana 80 pesos to a dollar exchange. Mind you, those monies that were auctioned will be available after some days to the BDCs. Meanwhile, if the BDCs were out there today sourcing for probably the dollar at prevailing rate, they could get it much lower. But per the auctions done earlier, rates are so high within the BDC space. And that is why oftentimes you would have had, the 1 liter to $1 unpronounced rule prevail. As we speak, the dollar is hovering around 10 cedis, exchange to $1. And so it could have come down a little more, but then again, a few dynamics come to play. That said, what we are seeing right now with the OMC is a bit encouraging, especially when you had, petrol as of yesterday selling at 15 CD 41 across the major pumps, and today at 13.40.
Yeah.
that means that a little over 2 Ghana cedi reduction has been achieved within this window. Again, diesel that used to be around 18.89 is currently at 16.5 thereabout. That's also a little over 2 Ghana cedis achieved. With these numbers together, clearly.
Now to other stories. A-Script Solutions Limited has launched an online medical delivery app to help with efficient and convenient medical delivery. The new app, MedFind, will allow people to order and pay for medical prescriptions just by downloading the app onto their devices. Programs Manager of A-Script Solutions Limited, Freeman Achampon, assured the app will help give subscribers timely, quality medication in the comfort of their locations.
The introduction of MedFind app is to ease the burden of patients and caregivers in accessing prescribed medications from the nearest available pharmacy. A-Script Solutions Limited believes the launch of MedFind subscribers only need to download and place their order for timely delivery. Programs Manager Freeman Achampon said users of the app are also guaranteed of quality medical supplies.
So MedFind has come to make sure that you get quality medication on time, okay, without going through one farm, using the legwork or moving, spending money on transportation with the risk of even accidents and stuff like that. Just all to go and look for medication. So MedFind has come to, solve all this, and also to provide quality healthcare to people who need it.
The company also hopes to expand its services to other parts of the country, especially rural communities. Mami Ohinwa Boateng is the general manager of A-Script Solutions Limited. The app, among other things, is expected to improve healthcare delivery in general in Ghana and beyond.
As you're watching JoyNews today, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with business. Stay with us.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The Ghana Export Promotion Authority has identified poor finishing and lack of certification as challenges preventing local artisans from taking advantage of bigger markets. Sector Director for Ashanti and Bono regions, George Ameao, is worried indigenous businesses struggle to enter African markets through the Continental Free Trade Area. He spoke to Love Business on the sidelines of the 2022 Semba Africa Business Excellence Awards held in Kumasi. Prince Apia has more.
The 2022 Semba African Business and Excellence Awards brought together hundreds of indigenous businesses making strides. Speakers at the event encouraged participants to form synergies to take advantage of opportunities like the African Continental Free Trade Area. Ghana Export and Promotions Authority Director for Ashanti and Bono regions, George Ameao, asked indigenous businesses to position themselves to maximize the benefits it presents.
We have 55 countries coming together to form the biggest market in the world. As at now, we only sell 15% amongst Africans. 15 to 17%, and the rest with the Europeans, with the Americans, with the Asians. So these are opportune periods. Let's say if people are doing footwear or apparels, and you compare the Italian shoe to the Ghana shoe, and you look at the finishing, that is the only difference, because the styles, the models are practically the same, but the Italian has got this clean cut finishing. So what we are doing is that we are going to organize a sort of leather fair where we will train people and then we use those products for the international market.
About 60 awards were presented to deserving and hard-working indigenous businesses in the country. Here are some of the winners.
This is the third award we have received this year. It means that we're doing something good. We are trying, and we hope to keep on trying and keep on doing our best to satisfy majority of Ghanaians, and then foreigners and other people who patronizes our facility as a whole.
Union Group of Companies, Abra Yebo Midin se menya overall entrepreneurship no manage ye pa. Minim se adwuma ye no so no. Se ewiase nyina ehwe yen se yenya sa basobodi e de ne amapa bebre yen e be ma wiase nyina ate yenka na yeso adwuma pa ye no ye bekoso no ye na minimi ye sa afia beba nso no ye betumi asan agesa bio.
The annual award ceremony was organized by Stephen Ofosu, who is the CEO.
We believe in supporting businesses so that they can grow and also contribute to the growth of the African economy. That's why after the award, we go to their various businesses to offer free business education and support so that their businesses could grow. One of the major challenges entrepreneurs SMEs face in Ghana is access to quality business education, which will help their business to grow. And we've taken it upon ourselves to create that platform so business could come to our center, or we go to them and offer such ideas and strategies at no cost.
The winners, among others, will also receive mentorship to boost their businesses. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, the University of Energy and Natural Resources and partners are to construct a €2.5 million waste-to-energy plant to convert agric and forestry residues into electricity and cooking gas. The German Federal Ministry of Education and Research-funded project is aimed at a reliable and sustainable supply of renewable energy for the university and surrounding areas. Ahead of the sword cutting in Sunyani, the Austrian ambassador to Nigeria, Thomas Schlesinger, said the project, which would also serve as a research center, could be replicated in other parts of Africa. Pesho Semevo has more.
The Level Up Waste to Energy project has a €2.5 million funding approval from the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research after over 4 years of planning. The project, which involves over 15 public, private and international partners, including UNE, will use biogenic residues to produce fertilizer, electricity and cooking gas. The Sustainable Energy Project in Sunyani, which will benefit the university and beyond, will have a solar drying plant, biomass gasification, a biomass fermenter, and an absorption chiller. Professor Nana Safwa-Jimandechi is the local project lead.
Biogas production, the major waste materials that we use are the abattoir waste, the market waste, restaurants, the food waste, and all of that. So these are the ones that we use to feed the digesters. So this will give us a gas which is just like the LPG gas. So we use it for cooking. In full operation, the plant is giving us 50 kilowatts of electricity. Our consumption is around 30. So what it means is that we have excess of electricity.
Ahead of the sword cutting in Sunyani, the project leader, Professor Stefan Pels, said the Level Up project would also help protect the ecosystem from waste pollution.
We want to close loops, unlike linear economic models, where we often end up with high levels of greenhouse gases and a huge volume of waste that pollute our ecosystem. In other words, what is necessary so that our children and grandchildren can continue to live on our planet. We are facing global challenges and we need to strive to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals worldwide.
Austria's ambassador to Nigeria, Thomas Schlesinger, said the project would also serve as a research center and could be replicated elsewhere.
The Level Up project consortium takes a very innovative approach. So I'm particularly pleased that the Ghanaian and European students will jointly conduct research on scientific projects here at this facility. And we have already heard, provided that the necessary research has been completed, this project can be replicated. It can be replicated here in Ghana, but it can also be replicated in the neighboring countries.
The host institution is excited to be charting a path in waste energy. Professor Elvis Asaribediakon is the VC of UNE.
UNE has carved for itself a unique niche in the waste-to-energy area, as it's deeply involved as a key partner in some important waste-to-energy projects across the country. These include the hybrid waste-to-energy as a solution for Ghana project, which converts 12 tons of waste into electricity and fertilizer per day at Jankoba in Ashanti region.
Precious Semevo, Joy Business. Sunyani.
And there's more business news coming up on the marketplace. Up next, sports.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for more sports. My name is Abigail Sanasasu. After Ghana's fallout from the ongoing FIFA World Cup, assistant Black Stars coach George Boateng believes that the Black Stars have what it takes to win international titles despite the team's early exit from the tournament. Ghana finished bottom of Group H after losing to Portugal and Uruguay and beating South Korea. George Boateng has been reviewing the team's performance in Qatar.
I think when we look back, I think we can all say that we had a very good preparation and good organization. We planned well. As coaching staff and as team, I think when we look back, there's no way we could say that we missed out on something. I think going to Abu Dhabi as part of the planning and preparation for the World Cup was excellent. Getting the players to get used to the weather, the different culture and the heat, as well as getting to know the style of play. A lot of the players hadn't played in a World Cup game before, so the preparation against Switzerland was a very good preparation. Also, the victory and the way we played against Switzerland, I thought it gave the team, the players also a moral boost in terms of confidence-wise. So when we look back, I think we had a very good planning and organization. I thought if you look at it, we performed well as a team, well enough in every game. If you look at the game against Portugal, I thought the team was very compact, very solid. Everybody gave its all, and we all know that if the penalty wasn't given, then perhaps things could have been different. But you have to accept that. That's football. You have to move on from that, and we did so. I thought the game against South Korea was outstanding. The players showed so much character in that game, leading 2-0 and then conceding 2 goals to then find the courage to come back and still win the game. Gave us such a good confidence boost. And it showed also us as staff that we have players who have the right discipline and the right character. And if we look at it overall, we were the lowest ranked team coming to the World Cup, but we did better than Denmark, we did better than Serbia, than Iran, than Costa Rica, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, the host. So if you look at it as a team, we have really performed well enough for a team that came to the tournament as the lowest ranked. And obviously, if you look at the last game against Uruguay, we all know that things could have been a lot better for us had only luck gone our way.
Back home, the Black Galaxies defeated Legon Cities 2-0 in a test match as part of preparations towards the CHAN tournament in Algeria next month. Well, that'll be all for sports. My name is Abigail Sanasasu. Up next is World News.
Good afternoon. It's always a pleasure bringing you showbiz here on JoyNews today. Now, rapper Papi Kojo has revealed legendary rapper Bravo has been avoiding his calls for a collaboration. He told KMJ on Prime Morning that it's obvious Bravo didn't want to collaborate with him because of his choice of lyrics.
If you want to do any collab right now, as we speak right now, who's that person that you really want to do the collab with?
Bravo.
It's never happened?
He's dodging.
You know when someone is dodging, like, but they don't want to say they're dodging. I really love Abrafo.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't want to come and
But I'm sure he's aware.
Yeah.
There's no need for him to dodge you.
I don't, like, he's like my pops. He's like my father, you know? Like Abrafo Reggie, like, these guys literally raised me. Like, I know the album, like, I read A, B, C, D. I know Abrafo's lyrics more than him. Listen, I don't even think he likes it when I come on TV and be met. That guy is...
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's just... My guy just grew up to be like a peaceful guy. You know, he doesn't like... But I just love him, so I'll just mention his name wherever I go. But I think because of my lyrics and the things that that's what I believe.
Okay.
That's what I believe. Like, if I make calculations, that's what makes sense to me in my head.
From Papi Kojo, all is set for the much anticipated Kiss Daniel show come 23rd of this month. According to Shola, a leading member of the organizers of the event, this event is not something to be missed.
Now, describe exactly how the 23rd is going to be like here.
Well, as you can see, with the look of things, we're about 10 days out and we started planning. We started preparing the place for what it's going to look like on the 23rd. I came in earlier today to see the work that has been done, and I was extremely impressed. I think this is going to be a huge show. I think it's going to be an experience that even, the team would always, use as a reference for future shows. So really exciting. I can't express it enough on camera.
Well, I want to find out why the decision on Kiss Daniel.
Wow. Kiss Daniel is a legend. And I use the word legend because it's very difficult for you to carry audience of more than 100 million people at every given time you release a hit. And I use that number, coming out of the World Cup, the views, the energy that he puts into his music.